Welcome everybody to Rad Pod and Chill, the coolest show on the interwebs.
We keep having this conversation. No, we're not. Like, we don't have to be the coolest show. We're just us. We're just us.
Well, that's good. That's good because we're not the coolest show. So.
We are definitely not.
Well, it's the coolest show to me because I
don't want
want
to spread disinformation to our audience, Heidi.
Okay. So
we're some of the smartest interweb motherfuckers out there.
Well, I equate cool and smart sort of part of the same thing. So now that we've had this debate and the interwebs have kicked Jim Stewartson off, I will introduce the posse. Heidi Kuda right here, Sean Connor over there, Hi-Fi over there. Jim Stewartson will be back. We are an investigative show about disinformation, but not on Thursday nights. On Thursday nights, we do drop some knowledge. We'd like to do a little recappy cap of our previous episode that dropped earlier in the week. And oh my God, if you did not see our interview with Julie Briskman, I recommend go get inspired. Go get inspired by a woman who was autocratic captured out of a job when she flipped off Trump's motorcade and then came back hard running as a county supervisor in a very red area. And she's just crushing it. She's doing such good work. And if she can do it, that means many of us can do it. And she was very, very inspirational. And she was just cool. She was just cool.
She seemed like she was born for that job, you know.
I know. That's what's so great, Sean. Man, that's what's so great. Rather than what happened in my life where all the people that I knew and had previously worked with scattered because they didn't want to be associated with somebody who was actually writing the truth about Trump during a time when even the manager I had in development at the time was like, right after the election, it's like, oh, what we need are stories about self-made millionaires. I was like, oh, no, we don't. Oh, no, we don't. I got a date with a march in Washington. I don't know what y'all are up to, but
there's no such thing.
We have our first space viewer. So hello from outer space. Yep.
Oh,
what's up, Kathy?
We actually have a lot of pressure now. We got to make her laugh, and so I don't know. Could we be funny inadvertently? I suppose so.
Oh yeah, let you laugh at us. Does that count?
Are we under pressure?
Well,
yeah,
she needs to laugh. So
okay.
Well,
I just want everyone to feel very sorry for me. So it's not going to be funny, but the Warriors are on TV right now, and you see my shirt that I have on, and it's on TV right now, and I'm not watching it. Instead, I'm looking at you guys. So I want everyone to feel grateful and thankful.
I'm sorry we're disturbing your sports ball, Jim.
Yeah, I'm
it's
sure
important
you've seen them.
Sports ball. I've been a Warriors fan for 26 years. So
got to get out there and sports ball hard, bud.
You've seen them win up the championship.
Like sports ball. It's dumb. I get it. So what? I like it.
We'll have to have our good friend Greg Oliar on the show so you guys can talk sports, and then I can just paint my nails and tune out and go do other stuff. I think you guys know I dated my last jock when I was like 20, right? It was the final.
It was the final jock.
The final nail in the coffin was a guy that I was dating at Berkeley, ROTC baseball, studying nuclear physics, I think. But he said, "You use big words." And I'm like, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm done. You know.
Amazing.
It was funny.
Mm-hmm. I'm upset with Killer Mike right now. He had Herschel Walker on his show the other day, and I just
did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Killer's always been a little bit out there. He was I like Killer, but Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know. I haven't seen it,
wouldn't
but
be going to him for your political advice necessarily.
Well, I would argue that RTJ4 was actually kind of a prescient album. I mean, there's a lot of lyrics that they dropped.
Oh yeah, dude. That was crazy, right? The oh man, those lyrics, unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, I will say,
but they're gonna be out there, you know. I mean, and honestly, as far as I'm concerned, Herschel Walker, the more actual exposure he gets to the public, the better. That fucking guy is a moron. I'm sorry.
Actually, yes.
Stop making me laugh, Jim. Jesus.
You can't tie his shoes, man. That guy's, I don't know.
So you're not going to find propagandists on this show. We don't platform them for ratings or for sport, and we don't platform bullshittery deliverers. We try to bring people on who really illuminate core truths of our time. So I'm sorry to bring it on down.
No, Herschel,
it runs a risk, you know.
Can we get James Wood on?
Actually, I used to be friends with him, and he was lovely.
Oh my God.
He was lovely.
I bet we could probably get Lynn Wood on.
He was a fan of mine because he used to read my LA Times column. I was a nightclub writer, and I met him at the House of Blues, and we both had the Black Dahlia obsession in common. This was probably early 90s, maybe 94-ish. And he was absolutely lovely, and all I can figure on what happened to him was somewhere along the lines in the gambling dens of Hollywood or Moscow. Something happened, and that's I was investigating.
Well, something definitely happened because that. That dude is not only a right-wing nut job. He's a Flynn propagandist.
I know.
3 stars, the whole fucking thing. It's crazy.
What did the president of Estonia say? It's not just one politician or person who's been captured. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's a huge swamp.
What's up, gal? What's up?
Yeah. So I got a quick little parable. The reason you hire middle-aged mothers is because we're at the office till 1 a.m. getting shit done, right? Because that's just what you do, right? And so this morning I was just dragging ass, and I went to a cafe to get a second cup of coffee, and I brought my work with me, and I was so tired I forgot my headphones. So I'm that asshole in a cafe outdoors when no one's around having a conversation on speakerphone. And this woman creeps over to me and she's just like, "Do you have headphones?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Oh," I go, "No, I forgot them." She's like, "Because we can hear your conversation."
Nice.
Like, oh, shit, I'm that asshole. I am that dickhead right now. And I felt
excuse me.
So here's what happened. Let me just 30 seconds more on this story. So I thanked her profusely. I didn't realize that I was loud or anything was happening or anybody could hear me. And I went up to her and she said, "I'm so grateful for your response because I was actually terrified to come up to you." She had just survived a school shooting and still traumatized by it. And she was afraid to approach me. And that allowed me to bring her up to speed on my care and apology tour and everything that happened over the weekend. And she was this lovely human being, but oh my God, I've been going through a very stressful situation, not related to my campaign work, but to other work. And I gave her a briefing on it. And she said, oh, so what you're just doing right now is just taking out the trash. That's how she referred to my dilemma. And she goes, and how she said, "How heavy is this trash? 150 pounds? I go, "Yeah, give or take." She goes, and you need a team for that. So I'm sure you have some big guys on your side helping you take out this trash. I know it's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's essentially what it is, and you'll get through it. Total stranger, lovely human being. And I now have a total framework for a situation that I have to unfuck. And it's as simple as just life's too short to deal with assholes. I'm just taking out some trash. And it was all because I was an asshole loud talker at a cafe.
Well done.
Yeah.
Assholes attracting assholes.
But and I've talked about this a lot, right? She was afraid.
Yeah.
And you were probably, worried as she approached. Jesus Christ, is this some MAGA Karen who's gonna like make a giant scene, like what's going on. And
I made a friend.
as I've said,
I miss
the
those
fact
days,
that you have to get over that fear in order to make
Yeah.
a friend, and
Yeah.
that it's this magical moment when you actually connect with another human being, and there isn't some ideological cognitive dissonance like getting in the way.
Amazing.
It
It's
is that fear that has to go.
Yeah,
It was
that's right.
amazing.
Otherwise we're going downhill.
It
Yeah,
was
I miss
amazing.
those days. I miss those days of bumping into people
They are.
randomly and having these conversations with strangers, and both leaving better off for having had the interaction. And aside from COVID, just the fear and sort of anxiety of new people, right? Everything new. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
It was just this
Yeah.
beautiful cosmic flow thing where it was like she summed up the courage, and she also was concerned because my conversation was private, and because I was so tired, I was so exhausted, I just wasn't thinking straight, and I got a call and I took it, and I didn't have my headphones, and I'm on speakerphone and no one's around, I think, but it also is a reminder that people are always around. But it was so lovely because she not only summed up the courage and in a way was protecting me so my private conversation wasn't overheard, but I was also inadvertently being obnoxious, and I hate being that person who's loud talking.
How private was this conversation? Were you like awkwardly weird, like saying weird, like my social security number, and like
no,
was you like?
no, put it this way. You three fellows know a call that I got a couple days ago.
Oh yes.
Nobody else knows except the person I was having this conversation with. I got some good news that I've been waiting for about 18 months. Yeah, it's good news for everybody. And I was sharing it with a coworker. And I also was really talking a bit about Julie Briskman because what she said was so profoundly important to me that we must align ourselves with people who share our values. I align myself with you guys because we share very, very similar values. We're different people. We may have different philosophies or spiritual beliefs or whatever, and it doesn't matter because we all want to see democracy survive. We all want to root out the fascists. We all want to curb disinformation, dial it from a volume of 11 down to like a -3. And we're all doing the work, the heavy lifting to get there. So I was talking about that.
You want to watch one of these clips?
Hold on. I just got to say something.
Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, Heidi, the next time you find yourself in that situation, just get a piece of paper and write a sign, "I'm sorry, I forgot my headphones," and just like hang it on your laptop. That way it's like, "I'm sorry, I'm not like this. I forgot my headphones."
It won't happen again.
Problem solved.
There was this a few years ago. There's this YouTuber that had this hilarious prank where he would go to airports, and he would like sit next to people on the phone, pretend he was on the phone, but he would answer their questions. You know what I mean? So they'd be talking, and so like,
I remember that.
"So what do you want to do tonight?" Yeah, I remember that. And he'd be like, "Oh, whatever you want to do," and they'd look at him.
Randy Rainbow kind of started like that. He did like gags like that. I don't know if you've seen his latest for Pride, but it was just so fantastic. He basically vivisected verbally Ron DeSantis, and it was just incredible. Yeah, go Randy.
You want to kick off one of the clips from Julie?
Yes.
Which one do you want to do? I'll pick.
My pick. It doesn't matter. Julie's fucking awesome.
Reproductive rights is my first choice.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know if you saw the Alyssa Milano video that she put out right after Roe v. Wade. And there's literally a chart that shows the number of women that got into the workforce after birth control was allowed for unmarried women, the number of women that went to college. I mean, the diagram, the chart, the line just went straight up.
Yep.
And what I said about that is reproductive health care is what allows women to pursue happiness, right? Yep. life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Women can't go for any of that if we don't have reproductive rights.
Yep. That was my question.
Well done, Jim.
No, it's just, I mean, she answered it real good, you know.
That's great.
It's not like the abortion thing has nothing to do with little tiny babies that aren't babies.
No.
That is not, it has nothing to do with it. It's about power, and it's about regressing women back to the 19th century so that men can take advantage of it. That's what it's about. And fuck that. That is, you know, one of those things that you go to war about. When half of the people in your fucking species are being attacked, you step up. So, you know, time.
Guys,
Yeah.
I think we should take a quick moment for one of our avid listeners here. Kathy's has unfortunately a ceremony to go to tomorrow. Kathy, I'm so sorry. Your mother, and it's horribly sad. She's going to apparently a funeral, her mother's funeral tomorrow. So our heart goes out to you, Kathy. You know.
Sorry, Kathy. Much love. You know we care about you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. We're here for you. You know where I am.
Yeah. I mean, at its core, this is
I've
a
been
show
there.
that's a lot about people. And I'm sure you guys saw the gentleman who's making custom coffins for the children in Texas. And that's quite a beautiful tribute. But I don't want any more children to die, and we don't have a plan to prevent that. So
Yeah, we certainly don't, and
No.
the reason is because they don't want us to. They want dead kids. They want dead kids. That
clearly,
is what they want. This is the plan. They are trying to undermine democracy by making everyone feel scared. It's the mafia. It's the bully on the playground. It's, you know, oh boy, you know, nice restaurant. You're there, sad if something, you know, happened to it. You know, just give me $2,000 a month and everything will be fine. It's the same fucking thing, right? They want us to be afraid so that they can come and be our protector. That's what
Sure.
autocrats do. And
so
so there's a reason why there's 400 million guns in the United States. And it has nothing to do, and I'm going to rant for a second. I am tired of hearing about how everybody has got a fucking uncle who was a gunsmith. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you hunt. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I care about the fact that there are 400 million murder machines on the goddamn streets, 1.2 for every man, woman, and child, and it's absolutely insane. The only reason it is there is to prepare us for civil war. That's the purpose of having 400 million guns in the United States, because our adversaries don't have the balls to come over here and invade us themselves. So they're going to get us to do it from the inside out. It's been happening for decades. And unless we figure this fucking thing out, it's going to work.
Yeah. Well, I will say that we import more Russian ammo. Even with the sanctions, there's been a workaround. They sell all their ammunition to us. They're cheap Russian ammo. Jim, I rewatched your last two Hellscapes, and it's interesting to me that you're an atheist because you can preach like a motherfucker. Those last two Hellscapes were very important. I rewatched them because I wanted to learn what you knew, and I didn't want to miss a thing. So thank you for that. And our next clip from Julie Briskman, she has a solution to what we were just talking about. Very simple.
All right.
The guardrails of democracy can hold if we keep talking about it and we keep getting people involved.
Good.
Yep.
Volunteer for a candidate you believe in. That's all I can say. Volunteer for a
Right.
candidate who has values that match your values, because we have to get the people who are fascists
Yeah.
out of power.
Yeah. All of them.
And-
Every one of them, like a rot.
This,
Yes.
I mean, the reason we have this Supreme Court is because we don't have a popular vote that wins the election.
Yeah.
That's right.
So what do we have to do, guys? We have to get the fascists out of power. We have to get the fascists out of power. That's what
Jesus.
we have to
Yeah,
do.
I mean, the problem is that the current methodology for getting them out of power is using a system that they have already corrupted, right?
Yeah.
That is the intentional box that they put us in. We don't have the power to change the system that they have weighted in their favor, which allows them to weight it more in their favor and on until the whole fucking thing topples over, right? Like, that's what they're trying to do, and that's why you have to nip fascism in the fucking bud. We're past that point, but I'm going to keep repeating this. It does not stop on its own. You can't vote it out. You can't fucking negotiate with it. You can't have a conversation with it. You have to defeat it. You have to embarrass it. You have to shame it. You have to make it pointless and powerless. And the only way to do that is for all of us, everybody here, to get off the dime and start inspiring other people to do it too. Because it's not going to come from powdered wigs.
Yeah.
So I saw somebody mention in the chat, about another fucking shooting in Ames, Iowa.
Oh, so this is
outside of a church named Iowa. It says updated 3 minutes ago. Three dead. Jesus Christ! You can't go a single day.
So what is that? A supermarket, a school, a
church, corner store,
and a hospital.
There was one in Oklahoma.
Think about that. In a hospital in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
From a guy who got pissed off at a surgeon and went and bought it and had an idea in his head. I'm going to go fucking shoot up a hospital, went to buy a fucking AR-15 with no waiting period and, whatever bullshit background checks they're doing on these people, didn't pick up on anything, so he picked up his AR-15 and drove to the hospital. That's the broken sickness that has been intentionally put into our system. It's insanity, and we got to stop buying into this Overton window shift all the way to all we can argue about is how many fucking bullets go in the giant magazine for their AR. Fine, but what say we just take a giant magnet and suck them all into the sun? How about that?
Shoot them into space. Shoot them into space.
Sorry,
I think
I'm spicy. I'll try.
I think it's very important. One of my concerns, and I know this is a concern of Jim's and Hi-Fi's and Sean's, is that we continue. And again, I don't have a television, so I am not poisoned by this shit day in, day out. But I see it because I scan Twitter, I scan clips, I read everything in depth, but I scan to see what's on the networks. And continually, this party formerly known as the GOP, which are now political terrorists, right, as Jim has coined them, they continually have a camera in their face getting their opinion, which allows them to continue to poison the dialogue with propaganda talking points, which they are all so very clever at. They get their mandates from the CNP, etc., organizations, and they all read the same shit. And, today I'm sure you saw some goon who said, you got to have a AR-15 for the feral pigs. Ha, ha, ha. I'm sure
fucking dope.
chuckle.
Also, and there's no clever answer for, the types of questions that people were posing to Ted Cruz, right? Like, why does your country have this problem? Why is this happen only in America?
I mean, look, it's there are occasionally bright glimmers of actual journalists doing journalism these days. I've seen some like Acosta, for example. I wrote about this. Had a board member of the NRA on his show, and the board member started saying a bunch of nonsense, and Acosta just laid him out. Like fucking right,
he's good at that.
His face said, "Look into your soul and think about the dead kids getting shot over and over and over." Like in his face, and cut off his mic and said, "Bye." Like this is not a both sides thing, right? We got to stop. Like the Overton window keeps getting dragged towards like death cult, right? And the fucking press just stays in the middle the whole way down, right? That's not how it works. That's not how it works. The press needs to cover reality as it is, not as a ping pong match.
That's right, and we're gonna have some damn good news on that shortly. Because there's an opportunity for some real fucking journalism to come along and just change the game. I'm very
Yay! That's right.
We have to, we are, as we always, we did this show because we have to be the ones we're waiting for. We can't wait for somebody to come along and save us. So that's why we did this show and why we get these kick-ass guests. And I'm so excited about the legacy that we've already created. When you look at, somebody asked me the other day, who's your favorite guest? I'm literally like, whoever we had on yesterday. Whoever it was, that's my favorite guest because they're all amazing.
You guys want to see something funny real fast?
Yes.
Do it.
Who's that? Who's that? Who's that wearing the?
That's in honor of me wearing my Smith shirt, which you can see here.
Is that a Dropkick Murphys shirt?
Yeah, it's Dropkick Murphys. I was at Dropkick and the Sex Pistols at the Greek, and walking back to the car, I saw Morrissey, and I said, "Will you take a picture?" And he was not happy to do so, and I didn't care, and that's a moment for me. Yeah, and judging.
I don't get it. My wife is into Morrissey too, and I'm like, he's so. It's just like Monday, I am sad. Tuesday, I'm very sad.
Hey! Some people like that.
That's Robert Smith.
I'm even sadder.
You're quoting The Cure, but
we don't have to talk about.
I like
the
The
same
Cure.
thing. Like,
let's
talk
talk
about
The
Cure.
Let's talk about this belt buckle.
Don't they have one of those too? Don't they? This
Yeah.
one of those weekdays of the week. I'm so sad songs.
What's this belt?
Friday,
buckle?
I'm in
What's
love.
going on here?
That's The Cure.
Yeah.
So the belt. You're asking about the belt.
Yes.
My friend, I at that time I was the LA Times nightclub writer, and I was just always on the scene, always being inspired by everything. And there was a shop called Blessed, BLEST, that my friend owned, and a shop called Dari that William Shatner's daughter owned. And I just used to gear up at these places. And because I was actually making a TV news paycheck, I could sort of do what I wanted. But what I think is funny there is that you can see I'm wearing pink underwear under my slung bondage pants. Those are bondage pants.
This whole
get up is you could be on a budget,
And fantastic. That is some fantastic jelly bracelets. Is that it? Yep. Well, good shit, Heidi. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for noticing. I would always be in these rooms with all these people with like endless money. And Gwen Stefani was at that show, and I remember.
You're freezing up. What happened?
The man is silencing Heidi. No, just kidding.
Heidi, I know. Morrissey cut you off.
Hey, can we talk about the Supreme Court
reality game with Lesnar once?
Hey, Heidi, you should probably bounce and come back in.
Yeah. I'm gonna kick her out and come back in. Do you guys want to talk about Gwen Stefani?
Supreme Court? No, I want to talk about the Supreme Court.
Gwen Stefani.
Okay, let's talk about the Supreme Court. Yeah.
And then we'll talk about Gwen Stefani.
Wait, hold on. Our two choices are Gwen Stefani or the Supreme Court?
Yes. No, or Gwen Stefani on the Supreme Court.
On the Supreme Court. Who did one of them die? Like,
Hey,
we
know how she'd rule on Roe v. Wade. I'm just a girl, and she'd be for women's rights. So,
right. No,
that's awesome. Like, replace Clarence Thomas with Gwen Stefani.
I'm down. I'm down.
Okay,
that would be amazing. Imagine the opinions.
Is Heidi back?
The dissent.
Say hello. Heidi's back. I saw a hand.
I like how the ghost in the machine. I like how the ghost in the machine just shuts me up when I've gone on too long. Thank you, Ghost in the Machine. let's just freeze her and dump her.
That's my favorite Police album, by the way, since we're talking about music.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi, you go with your Supreme Court take, and then I'll go for mine. You go first.
Oh, I just wanted everyone to know that our authoritarian captured Supreme Court just ruled that gerrymandered maps can be used in the midterms. So it's more than important that everybody who doesn't normally vote, you get them off their asses and take them to vote. I got
something to say.
I mean, between the Electoral College and gerrymandering, right? Like, we've got a 12 to 15 point sort of structural fuckage. Like, it's just crazy.
They gave the system. That's how they do it.
Well, yes, that's
and the old-timey, antiquated methodology, like Wyoming having 2 senators, California having 2 senators, Wyoming having a population of 500,000, us having a population of 40 fucking million. Like that kind of unnatural power structure is failing democracy.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Kristi Noem has as many fucking senators as Gavin Newsom. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but I mean, I get why that happened. It's in general the issue with a constitutional democracy like this, right? Because you've got a founding document, and you don't want to just go changing it willy-nilly.
right.
But the problem is, if you don't change it at all, then you get these bizarre ass just made up interpretations, like what they're doing with the Second Amendment. Like, Second Amendment had nothing to do with putting guns in the hands of individuals. It had everything to do with making sure that the military was controlled by the civil government. Yeah. And the National Guard was the answer. The National Guard is what takes care of domestic things that need potentially lethal force or something like the military. You don't want a standing army that's going to do that internally, because that gets all fucked up and you turn into a dictatorship. So they put the Second Amendment in to say, hey, we need a militia made up of ordinary people, and they are going to need to own guns outside of the military, and that's okay. That's what the Second Amendment is. It's nothing to do with this dumb shit where people are walking around with murder machines all day fucking long.
Well, just think about the fact that if you can actually draw a direct line to the Supremes would not be in power as we know it without gerrymandering. And, quite frankly, Julie again said, I love quoting our most recent guest. It's like a life raft to hang on to. We continually allowed people into power who lost the popular vote. That's not reflective of the people. That's reflective of a fucked up, old-timey methodology that doesn't serve us anymore.
That's right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, I hold on. I got to point something out. Right. I would like everyone to keep in mind that when the Constitution was written, the population of America was approximately 3 million people.
Oh, wow.
Now the population of America is 330 some million people. So the problem is technically one of scale. Right?
Yeah.
12 justices don't represent the diversity of peoples that our country has become.
Yeah.
Right? Especially when 6 of them are in a very tiny Christo-fascist cult.
Yeah.
Especially
literally, that. 6 of them are in a very tiny Christo-fascist cult.
That's
right.
That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
Is for 50 years, the Federalist Society and all of these people, that's why Trump, it was such a big deal when he said, I'm only going to take because at the time I didn't understand, to be honest with you. I had no fucking idea what the Federalist Society was other than some right-wing bullshit, right?
Well,
But
now
it
we
turns
know.
out the Federalist Society has had a plan for decades to
Yes,
do
that's right. Yep.
exactly this. And Donald Trump and COVID and the fucking and people dying and shit got him 3.
God,
That cannot stand. That
what we've
cannot stand.
Yep.
the shit
Yep.
that we've normalized. Citizens United, obviously allowing the floodgate of dark money, but the things that we have normalized, we are a country in trauma. Like, we had a quote unquote president who was not punished for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people, which he could have easily prevented by following science and not turning COVID into a reality show and turning
The
it
other,
into
the other,
holy
the other, the other frightening thing to me is these sort of the whole cloth like incorporation now of religious fundamentalism, extremism, incorporating the Second Amendment into their God-given right. You know what I mean? So, like in the American Christian fundamentalist right, or claiming that their right to bear arms and own guns is a God-given right, and it's just
wow.
that to me tips over into the cult.
It's a cult. It's
Oh
a
no, I
cult.
know
Like,
it's just that.
you just like you look at the NRA convention, right? You just
Yeah.
look at it isn't different fundamentally from Mike Flynn's like reawakening like psyop events, right? It's a bunch of fascists, like just all of them knowing that every single thing they're saying is false, right? They
Yeah.
all know.
Yeah.
None of them are like under the impression that more guns in America is going
Right.
to make less violence.
Safer.
They
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
give a shit.
You
They
know
either
what's
don't
so
care
crazy?
because they're making money or because it's
Jesus.
politically what they want.
Well,
Jennifer-
again, they're
Jennifer
just like we
Cannavale.
learned from Nancy McLean.
Amos-
Good. And that's the kind of branding we need. So, like we learned from Nancy McLean, and what we learned also from Nadine Smith is as they try to outflank each other to the right, and because they didn't step up in 2015 and said, hey, this party's going off the rails, they were afraid they wouldn't get the money from the Koch cadre, so they allowed it to get more and more extreme, and here we are. I just want to say that I have never been able to look at the chat while we're on the show. I had no idea we have such a vibrant, amazing chat, and I'm just blown away. Like, that's just
what
incredible.
They every week.
You guys are you're bringing it.
Great.
And Kathy, I told Jim he looked gorgeous, and he didn't believe me. I'm so glad that we've got 2 votes for Jim looking gorgeous.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, all right. Moving on.
I'm done. Done.
All right, so here's my comment on the Supreme Court. You guys
Yes.
ready here?
Yes. Oh, do we have an anagram?
Yep.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Do it.
We don't fix everything right away, but we got anagrams.
Supreme Court, corrupt, sue me. Ha ha ha.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Oh.
That's just too soon, Sean. Too soon, bro.
Okay, I know. All right, and I'm gonna get the other one out of the way because
Wow.
it's amazing too.
Wow.
So here you go. This
Right.
one is
Hit me.
Miko says you're gorgeous too. Just FYI.
all right. Here we go, guys.
Oh,
Oh. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with owning pistols and shotguns. Okay.
Whoa.
Oh.
Holy shit. Now you gotta pause it. Because that's like, wait a second.
Greedy, censoring maps, amoral nerds.
Nerds.
Yep.
That's true. If they weren't nerdy, maybe they wouldn't be such
Gerrymandering congressional districts is greedy, censoring maps, amoral nerds.
wow.
Well, yeah.
Yes. Amoral nerds, man. It's like,
Yeah.
we're gonna move this district over here, and then across this bridge where all these black people are, we're gonna carve a little thing out. Like,
Yeah.
it's totally a bunch of like amoral fascist nerds sitting around at a table trying to figure out how to fuck the maximum number of people.
I'm
and the
so
fact
glad
that
we're
it's
not
legal is
hang
crazy.
out. I'm glad I hang out with moral nerds. LOL.
You
I'm
hang out
just a
with moral
nerd to
nerds?
you. I'm just a nerd. Come on, I'm more than a nerd.
I'm
Look
on a
at-
restraining order from fangirling my the best.
You're a kidnapper, right? And there's something about the basement and knives and.
Oh, hi-fi. I was like, me?
I mean, that's more.
I'm an internet terrorist. That's what I
You're
am.
an internet terrorist, basement having people in it.
Hey,
Nerd.
you yourself one day called me a chaos agent. I'll have you remember.
You fucking
Right.
are, dude.
I know it's great.
Sean,
but it depends on where you cause chaos, right?
Huh?
That's true. I try to keep it like cool for this. You know?
Chill. Yeah, keep it chill.
I really want to talk about something, though, that I thought was so amazing. We always talk about...
I just want to say, you remember the first time we recorded and we had to like censor you like 7 times? Like,
Yeah.
Nope,
Me?
you can't say that. Nope,
Right,
can't say that.
Me?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, shit.
Nah.
He has
I'm pretty
Hi-Fi.
sure Hi-Fi could do this, but let's you said some shit, man.
He actually
I'm sorry, Heidi. Go ahead.
wasn't house trainable, but he is. He's wonderful.
He cleans up good, I gotta say.
I'm kind, but I'm not nice.
Let me talk. Oh, I know. The
I'm
first
sorry.
selfie that
Jeez,
Hi-Fi ever sent me was his T-shirt wearing that had like a big knife on the side, and it said "Not so nice." I'm like, I love this guy. No, Jim, seriously, I would like you to say a few words today to our very smart viewers about your projection piece, because again, I just thought, once again, you gave people a framework to grab onto for those who might not get it, but you had a wonderful framing of projection today. If you could just say a couple words, please.
The great projection.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we all see that projection is a big part of this, right? It's the old Goebbels thing, accuse others of what you are doing. But what occurred to me, is that QAnon itself, in particular, is what I'm calling the great projection, right? It's sort of a play on the great replacement, right? Like he and his psychological operation invented a conspiracy, a fake one, a ridiculous one, a dangerous one that intentionally covers up for a real one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you call that like a Russian nesting doll? A Russian nesting doll?
Yes. Well, what's fascinating is, and I followed it up with an example, and I don't know if maybe we can show that or whatever, but where he's doing the projection. If you scroll to the bottom, there's a link to another piece. I keep going all the way to the bottom. Yeah. Where he, every single thing he says is about what he's doing, including the fact that he's doing what he's doing while he's saying it.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. He's talking about how the idea that there's, a big lie is what they're saying about the election is a baseless conspiracy theory, and he gets super bent out of shape about that, and then makes up a conspiracy theory about the media to cover up that fact, right? So just like you said, Sean, it's just this nesting doll of projection. It's a house of mirrors that literally, like, it's mirrors that reflect each other, that make it impossible for people to figure out the truth.
Yeah.
And so one of the things, for whatever reason, I am pretty good at is being able to stand around in a house of mirrors like this and figure out where the actual fucking thing is.
Right.
And I think this is it's a really important thing to understand, the basic concept, and this is really all you have to believe, is that real conspiracies are covered up by fake ones.
Right.
Just look at any big conspiracy.
Yeah.
There's always somebody being framed. There's always a fall guy. There's always a scapegoat, right? And then you mix that in with authoritarians who always need a scapegoat as well, right? So it becomes this perfect sort of storm, as it were.
I love it when we have beautiful framing like that, because again, that's a high concept. That's a way for people to be able to tell their friends who might be on the fence about something going on, going, oh no, it's the great projection. And all of a sudden we have words to use as tools to dig our way out of this information morass. I do want to say that Radpod and Chill, our friends come here because it's a space where they can have some fun. We can drop some knowledge. And so if anybody's in the chat being disruptive, I don't know if we can kick them out, but certainly don't give them any air. I want you guys to have fun. And we're very grateful you're here. Doesn't mean
if we got any trolls, just bounce the fucker.
Yeah, just bounce them. It doesn't mean you can have discourse, but whenever someone, as we learned from Gal Suburban, when someone's all of a sudden taking you in a direction that ain't cool or distracting you from whatever, and it's not even what you're talking about, just fuck a troll. You know what I'm saying? Just like.
Hold on. I got a joke. Ready? The reason his name's Bone Break is that's the sound he's gonna make when he gets kicked from chat.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh my god!
I think I have one for that.
I would
Why
actually
do all
like.
these assholes have
We'll be here all night.
Bone break?
I
what
would
the
actually
fuck,
like.
dude?
Oh, hey!
Grow up.
You guys did not have time to read my email from my anti-Putin cartoonist friend Dan Brown.
I did.
Wasn't that?
It was fucking
Dude.
awesome.
Let's talk. I mean, I cannot wait. We'll bring Sharn back on. We'll bring him back on, or him on. He hasn't been on the show yet. Maybe he can debut some of his cartoon. But that way he talked about the distorted, toxic masculinity and the weaponization of it in relation to that McGregor guy I just thought so on point. Oh my God.
Yes.
You're talking about Dave Brown?
Yes.
I still need to give
so
him
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was a brilliant and true thing. Like McGregor is. I mean, I've watched a lot of McGregor. I like UFC.
I have very.
Like
Yep.
me and Sean watch it together.
Yeah.
And I think he's entertaining as fuck, but he's also a toxic ass motherfucker.
He really is.
He's got something going with Putin, right? If you're gonna be gifting the war criminal.
Absolutely, like for some reason that whole crowd is pretty pooty. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. There's a bunch of it in that realm.
Yeah.
I have no idea why.
Because the sport of fighting is often taken over by organized crime elements. I mean, you see this in boxing getting fixed. I mean,
Totally.
If you look at Jake Paul, there's crypto.com everywhere, right? I mean,
and look, misogyny and sexism is back in style, right? Sadly. I'm not gonna get into it too much because I'll go nuts. But this bullshit with Johnny Depp and that whole thing, like that was a public psyop. It was Gamergate. It was Gamergate writ large. There's no other scenario other than a giant coordinated harassment campaign that person would have gotten a $10 million fucking judgment in that case against a public person. Like, there's so many things stacked against that case. It didn't make any sense at all. Legally, any of it. And the only reason it worked is because of the massive, giant, social media campaign that influenced literally everybody involved.
Yeah.
I mean,
the other piece
no matter what you think of the actual merits of the case, and I'm not defending Amber for any of her bullshit. I don't give a shit. I don't care. But what happened here was an intentional operation to smear a woman in public, and it set things back a long way.
Yeah, right around the same time Elon Musk was making his move. I've got a quick Johnny Depp story.
No, hold on. I'm not my kid. I get to talk, Heidi.
Okay.
I was just
Go.
Jim and I talked about this in chat some, but not take any sides or whatever, but if I was Amber Heard, I would look into malpractice against those attorneys were just unbelievably bad.
I mean, but the judge also was a mess. Like, it was just.
Judge was. There's been much worse judges, but the attorneys were just so poorly organized. They weren't coordinated. It was a whole host of things. They weren't. Anyway, I would look into.
Says the guy who does legal preparation for a living.
Yeah.
Like, fucking moron.
The whole thing felt like the theater craft, I think that it was, and especially to find out.
Listen.
That's all trial is anyway. I mean, they don't. At the end of the day, it is.
There was a Deripaska lawyer involved. There's some weird shit, but can I tell you?
No. Adam Waldman, Johnny Depp's lawyer, is a serious character. He was a lawyer for Lavrov.
Yeah.
He was a lawyer for Julian Assange. Yeah. He was a lawyer for Deripaska. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Why does Johnny Depp have this guy? Right.
Well,
and by the way, the reason why Amber Heard won one of her counts is because Adam Waldman just like completely made up some crazy bullshit and put it in the newspaper, and it's just it's so clearly a giant paid thing where unless there were tens of millions of dollars behind it, it would have never happened.
It's one of those situations where there kind of is no right answer. There is no right, wrong. It's fucking messy. It's gross. It's intimate. It's personal. It's violent. It's all those things. But when you see that played out in the public court of public opinion, and then you have an obvious sort of lack in not only procedural understanding, but even for their side, how they presented the arguments and how they brought things up, and the poor interactions with the judges and objecting to your own question, and it was just a bizarre.
It was enough.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna say this one thing. Like, Elon Musk has a habit of really, really shitty lawyers showing up on the other side of cases that he's interested in.
Yeah.
For example, Cave Pedo Guy. You guys remember that? When he called Caver Guy a pedo.
And he was involved in that.
The pedo guy like insulted his mini sub. I'm not making it up. Insulted his mini sub. Yeah. So Elon Musk engineered a situation where the guy would sue him for defamation and end up just getting his entire life completely fucked. And guess who his lawyer was? Lynn Wood.
Lynn Wood. Yeah.
How did Lynn Wood, like John Bonet's parents' lawyers plus QAnon guy, end up as Elon Musk's opposing counsel? And Lynn Wood just made an absolute catastrophe of that case.
Controlled opposition.
So I don't know.
Third one. You're forgetting the third one, Jim.
Lonsdale, right?
Lonsdale, yeah.
Joseph Lonsdale v. Elise Clordy.
We can that one campfire and reciting this because we've done this. This is an old.
And no one's holding anyone to account for any of it.
Yeah.
Although Lynn Wood did lose his appeal, he does have to undergo the mental health evaluation.
Right, he does.
I don't want to spend the last 6 months talking about these assholes. I'm just going to go on the record. I'm fucking tired of them. They take up a lot of space, but it's important.
Well, I mean, we talk about disinformation.
I know, but we.
Yeah, I mean.
These are the people behind it. It's not that hard to see. We just need more people to see it.
I just want to tell you
and understand it
from before the war, Back
should we talk about? Let's talk about. Should we talk about wars?
Do you guys want to watch the Dark MAGA Origins?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Marvel is totally going to snatch this up once they see it.
Special announcement. Oh shit!
All right, guys. You guys get the.
I'm not sure. Did you hear the scene?
Everybody, settle down. Places. Sean's got something to show you.
Yes, here we go.
Oh my God. This is the world premiere of
That's
Dark.
right.
Yeah, you avert your eyes, Heidi. You know.
It
I'm
is.
going to be a big girl.
It's not that bad.
Sean's
all right, guys,
teasing us, dude. You can't do that, man. You got to be.
Well, you
ready.
know. So here's the thing.
If you got to throw down like that, you got to be on the. Button.
I know. No. It's how many
And let me
fucking
tell you,
versions.
guys, happy
You know
Johnny
when you
Depp
edit, like there's fucking version 14.5, a funny one. All that shit. So here we go.
That's all right.
Here it is.
Did you fix it in post yet?
Incumbent Representative Madison Cawthorn was defeated by North Carolina State Senator Chuck Edwards.
We know no truths, yet we have all the answers. We are Dark MAGA.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow. Wow. That was amazing.
MAGA origin story right there.
But I want that T-shirt.
I need more, dude. Where's more?
I have a second piece already. Yeah. So I have.
You do?
I do.
Oh my
I do.
God.
I'll do it for.
On me, man.
Oh, it's not finished. It'll be ready for this weekend. But I took Madison Cawthorn's unhinged sort of Instagram post that he did, and I rewrote it for him. So it's like the context on him writing that him writing the Instagram post where he says, we're coming for you. We have to get rid of the rhinos. We are Dark MAGA. That's a hilarious cosplay. Republicans cracked me up.
Anyway. We need more humping though. We need to see more.
I had to take it out. Heidi's offended by the cartoon hump.
No face humping.
Heidi,
if I'm not allowed to make sex jokes, he's not allowed to have face humping.
What? It's cartoon face humping. Stop it! Really?
I gotta tell you.
Okay, can we have it? Can we wait? Can we have an explicit version? Can we have an explicit version?
Ooh, can we have it? Okay.
Occasionally,
I get warning X-rated face humping version.
Occasionally, I get razzed by the guys, and they say, and I quote, "You haven't been desensitized by the internet." It's like, that's right.
That's
I have
true.
not been
She hasn't.
desensitized by the internet because I don't watch that shit. I
But
don't.
it's a cartoon of a fascist humping his cousin.
I thought
it's
hilarious.
It's not humping. He's doing a push-up on his face, so it's not technically humping
with his groin.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure in that context that what happens though.
Regardless,
there's a wave. There's
there
kind of a wave motion.
There will be an addendum to this where you get to sort of
there's a law. There's like a law motion or something.
Yes, I'm gonna supplement that initial cartoon with another cartoon with more data, information, and less humping for Heidi. But then I'll make some more humping for Jim.
I totally thought we said if you blurred the ass, then I'd be all right with it. That's what we used to do when I was at Fox Undercover. We would just do blurs. We do blurs.
We'll blur it out. We'll blur out the Dark MAGA bits.
Yeah.
That music just makes the whole thing hilarious.
It's so amazing. Seriously, I want that on a T-shirt. Our delusions will protect us. Like, what the hell? That is
somebody else said that. Yeah. No. And did you see it's a voting booth that he's holding up? That they're holding out.
Sean.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
Oh look, a cult lawyer Brad is here.
A cultist lawyer. Yeah. Bye, bitch. Fuck you, dude.
Is that Brad? Hey, Brad.
Yeah.
Bye, Brad.
Fuck you, dude.
Bye.
Can we do group conference?
Go do some magic with the K, bro.
Let me do my 30
seconds. Go draw a sigil or something.
I'm going to tell you my 30-second Johnny Depp story. Okay.
Go ahead, Heidi.
All right,
Yeah.
Jenny, I'm
We have,
sorry.
the same, we have the same tattoo artist, and I used to always hang out at his club, the Viper Room, because it was dope. And our tattoo artist, Mark Mahoney, was very close with him. And this is in the before times, right? Before all the disinformation war and whatever. And I used to always go to the Shamrock Tattoo Parlor's Christmas party, and so did Johnny. And one time he re-gifted a giant panettone that Giorgio Armani had given him. So he'd gone to a party earlier. Armani gave him a giant panettone, like the biggest kind you ever could imagine. And I just remember.
Is that like a pastry? What is that?
It's an Italian like fruit cake, and it comes in a square, and it's wrapped in red foil, and you see them everywhere.
So it's a fruit cake.
Yes, but this one was the size of like the anvil that drops on Wile E. Coyote or
So
something.
it gave him a giant fruit cake.
Yes, a giant.
Yeah,
but it was regifted. That was what was funny. So Johnny brings
So
it to
he
the
regifted
Shamrock.
a giant fruit cake.
Everybody is like literally
what the fuck else are you gonna do with the
diving
giant
into
fruit cake?
this thing.
I mean,
And that's
what
all
are
the time we
you
have today, guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out.
Wait, what's wrong with fruitcake bacchanalia? Fruitcake bacchanalia sounds great. Let's do it.
Fruitcake.
Will that be an anagram next week? Actually, Russian nesting doll. That's the anagram I hope for next week.
Nesting doll. You got it. All right, guys.
Russian
Russian
nesting doll. That'd be a good one.
Super Ukrainian.
I do love you guys.